Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with something a little bit different again. So I have recently attended GriffCon, and at that convention the Trades Hall did in fact have some of the Ghost Archipelago stuff that I've been craving for quite a long time. I have loved the idea of getting involved with something like Frostgrave, but honestly the setting for Frostgrave was always not to my liking. Cold, frozen cities just seems really dull and boring to me. If you love it, you love it. It's all you, go for it. But for me, the kind of Caribbean-esque pirate-style game system that is Ghost Archipelago is definitely something that like my mind is attracted to a hell of a lot more. So when I saw the rulebook and a set of crewmen for sale, different stalls actually, I grabbed both of those and I'm very excited to start on that journey. Now, the standard Ghost Archipelago crew set is a nice and interesting set, but it doesn't give you the parts I feel you need to make something special to represent you, i.e. the captain of your crew or the commander of your warband in the game system. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, Eldritch Foundry, is going to come in clutch. So they are going to allow me to construct a character, or at least I hope they're going to allow me to construct a character to represent my captain on the battlefield. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. I'm going to design a miniature in the Eldritch Foundry website, get it printed off and get it painted up, and see if by the end of today I can be on my way to having my first warband for Ghost Archipelago. So stick around guys and enjoy the journey. Before I get into it, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the people that support me out there on the interwebs, whether it be by just liking, watching, commenting, or being subscribed to YouTube, whether it's becoming a channel member down below, whether it's checking out the Patreon for all the extra content. All of those things really do help support and grow the channel. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. The one that of course does play the biggest part is the Patreon. So for all you guys out there, a special thanks. Thank you so much. Without you guys, I could not continue doing what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you so much. So if any of you guys are interested in getting involved with that, it's linked down in the description below. All right, guys, without further ado, let's dive in and get my captain ready. Okay, so once again, I dove into the Eldritch Foundry website and picked a character and started the design process. First thing I started to do was thinking about giving him a peg leg. So I went into the amputee section of this particular program. The amputee section is actually pretty interesting because if you think about a character that's gone through a long campaign and maybe has actually sustained injuries, it means you can go back and redesign the character to actually have these physical injuries and then print them out and change them up and change up your character. I think it's pretty awesome. In the end, I decided not to go for a peg leg, but I did see the gnarly hook, which I hadn't even thought about up until that point. So I decided to give him that. There's nothing much more piratey than a hook. I gave him a distinctive kind of scraggly haircut and a beard of pretty much majestic proportion to decide to go alongside his pirate motif. And then I started to go through his clothes. So first of all, those open jackets and stuff like that. But I decided in the Ghost Archipelago, maybe this guy is some sort of kind of washed up, stranded, like old captain. Maybe he's been kind of like a senile old crazy who's been in the Ghost Archipelago looking for treasure for a bit too long. He's led many crews to their deaths. So it's usually him, quite an experienced captain with usually quite a novice crew, and they usually unfortunately die in droves. So I gave him some old worn out equipment. His breastplate has obviously seen quite a lot of use, lots of scars and dents. Gonna have the kind of a crazed look on him, and I decided that I would give him a cape. I'm kind of a big deal. I love capes, and I was trying to think about why he would have a cape. But obviously, if these guys are in the kind of the jungles of the Ghost Archipelago, in and around tropical islands, maybe he wears like a green cape, act as a little bit more of camouflage to protect himself against the natives or from other trade kind of crews fighting against him. Maybe his other crew, his actual crew, think of him as quite strange for wearing a cape until they get onto the island, and all of a sudden he disappears into the shrubs. And they're left there in their bright colors. That usually doesn't end well for him. Obviously, going through the weapon selection, it was kind of a hard choice. I was tempted to give him like a flintlock pistol or something. In the end, I went for like a Spanish rapier, a really big, beautiful sword, ornate hilt, maybe originally taken from the captain of another warband, and he has carried it with him ever since. Gave him a designed base. This isn't actually the final base I went for in the end, but I do like the option of being able to put on a nameplate and then come up with a name. The name that immediately jumped into my head was Captain Pike. What can I say? It's as a captain of a crew. He's gone a little bit senile and his body is very damaged. So read into that what you will. Captain Pike. It's a pretty cool name. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. So obviously with all the design aesthetics in place, I love the options you can get. It was obviously onto posing. I thought about a bunch of heroic poses or anything like that, but I kind of like more of open poses. Like even this is cool, but like if you're standing next to another crew, like parlaying, then him having a sword in the air is a little bit weird. It's just, you know what I mean? I always like something a little bit more neutral. And I think that's kind of why I finished on the pose that I finished on, which was just, yeah, nice and relaxed. One of the new additions to this website is the ability to manipulate and change different aspects of the character. So for instance, I've had some issues before with things like the cape not interacting particularly well with certain chess pieces or poses and having things poke through. Well, they've added in this brilliant feature where you can manipulate and stretch and turn and like basically get the cape exactly how you want it to be to make sure it sits on the body perfectly. And you can interact with and manipulate everything, every leg, every joint, every movement to create the perfect pose that you want. And I just think this is fantastic. So after the model had been designed, obviously I downloaded the file and I decided to buy it as an STL file, cost you $5. And they email you the file itself, which I just threw into my 3D printer and printed him out. Captain Pike printed out beautifully. And I got to go on to the painting side of things. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of different ways that you can purchase things from Eldritch Foundry. So once you're finished designing your miniature, you can either buy him in, I think it's metal, resin, or as an STL file. Different prices for those. Or one of the things that I think I'm going to do is just sign up for the monthly subscription. So you pay, I think it's $15 a month from the website, and you can design and print as many characters as you want. One of the sneaky features that I'm going to use that particular thing for is I love the name-plated bases, and I'm not 100% sure how to do those myself. I'm not the best with like technology, so I'm a big believer in like programs that help me do that. I'm going to be starting a full Gaunt's Ghost army. Most people watching this video might not know what Gaunt's Ghosts are, but anyway, it's going to be quite a large collection of Imperial Guardsmen, and a lot of them are going to be named, and I want their names on all the bases. How are I going to do that? I don't know, but I think having these plated bases that I can just print out in hordes off of the website, I think is going to be a super useful tool for me. I'm still not quite over how far we have come as a, like, I don't know, like technology-wise. Like, we were literally living in the future. Like, think about it like this. Back in the day, like my first model kits were things like Spitfires. You know, you go down the shops, you spend your pocket money, you buy a Spitfire, you bring it home, you glue it together, probably melting some of the parts because of the strong glue. No primer. A couple pots of enamel paint that you get with the kit meant you could kind of make it the right colors and you would be and it was kind of a whole thing. Well, now I sat in this one room, my studio, my office this morning, and I said to myself, cool. Let's think of an idea for a character. Okay, I'm going to make my captain. What's my captain going to look like? I opened up a program and I designed this entire character from a program. Downloaded it, put it into another machine where goop, i.e. resin, transformed it into a solid miniature. I took that solid miniature, gave it a little bit of a clean, and now I'm painting it up and having a miniature that didn't exist this morning. Like, the odds of anybody putting these parts together in this exact order are very slim. Therefore, this miniature has never existed before and might never exist again. He is mine. And is that not crazy to anybody else? I went from literally nothing in the morning to a completely unique designed character that is mine in the afternoon for my campaigns. I think moving along to kind of miniature agnostic games like Ghost Archipelago or any of the other ones and having that kind of, you know, access to things is just going to make the world a crazy, crazy place. I'm so excited about what the future is going to hold. I can't wait to finally start a proper campaign with some friends of mine on using miniature agnostic kind of rule sets and seeing what everybody shows up with to play games. It's going to be kind of cool. As you can see, I'm going fairly simplistic with his paint job, raggedy kind of tan brown pants, brown leather boots. I'm going to give him a red shirt, a standard silver breastplate, obviously that green cape that I went for. I decided to leave him with kind of silvery hair. Like I said, this guy has been in the sun for quite a long time. He's an old wizened hand, whether it comes to being a shipwright or a hand on a ship. Whether he's captaining a ship or a crew, there you go, that's a kind of better way of saying it. He kind of knows what he's doing. He's very much a survival, and I like him. Captain Pike will lead warbands and fight in my name, which is so cool. So some quick and simple highlights on top of him. Just normal touch silver over gold and silver, some green over the green, red over the red. Got some base. Obviously I designed a base that has like some gaps between rocks. I'm going to be filling that in with some ard coat to represent water and just make it as if he's fighting on the shallows of the rock pools of the beaches. Maybe he knows the way around this island a little bit better than most people. Knows where to go, where to fight, and where not to fight. Like I said, this is just the captain of my crew. Obviously, you can have lots of different leaders for lots of different types of warbands in Ghost Archipelago. So please do let me know what you guys like about this game. Yeah, I'm excited to get stuck in with it. So this is Captain Pike in all his glory, still wielding his beautiful stolen Spanish rapier. His torn red shirt is still very much in hand. I think he looks really cool. Like I said, he didn't exist this morning, and now he's this model that I will own for the rest of my life. I think it's kind of cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out Eldritch Foundry below. Alright guys, Captain Pike is ready to serve in the haunted isles of the Ghost Archipelago. I'm really happy with how he turned out. I measured him up to one of the plastic miniatures from this box set, and he is going to stand like head and shoulders a little bit above the rest. So he doesn't look out of proportion. He's just going to look like a beast. And I love him. I love the kind of old washed up sailor. He's still, you know, handy with his blade, but maybe he's been on the Ghost Archipelago a little bit too long. His crew are getting a little bit tired of him. Maybe he keeps recruiting new crews. Who knows? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any thoughts on Ghost Archipelago yourself, if you guys have played it, what you think about it, I would like to know in the comments below what to expect from this system. And is there any kind of tips or tricks you can give me to make sure that my journey on this is as enjoyable as it can be. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you do those 3 normal things that always help all YouTubers out when you watch their videos. Like the video. If you have something to say, make sure you drop in the comments and make sure you're subscribed. It just costs you absolutely nothing, but it means the world to us. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.